Crowley County Primary School is located in a small school district in rural southeastern Colorado. The entire school district is home to roughly 437 students. The small size of the school and community creates a unique educational experience for the students attending primary school. There, one student that I will call DM has a particularly unique experience in that he has not only grown up in this rural community, but has an IEP. DM's IEP makes his learning different, especially when it comes to comprehending text. For instance, DM loves reading about sharks, but often cannot read all of the text. He uses the text he can comprehend and illustrations to make up his own stories about the text. DM's comprehension of the text often comes from the pictures or through motion. While reading about sharks or any sea creatures, DM will pretend he's in a submarine. He often puts his seatbelt on, pushes a few buttons, and gets ready to take off. Whoosh! When I asked DM where he learned about submarines, he informed me that he saw a movie once about people fighting a megalodon in a submarine. DM often seems to quote what he sees on TV. However, DM also seems to make a lot of social and emotional connections to text through his environment. He often makes connections back to school, his friends, and the rules he has to follow while at school. When learning vocabulary about rules and expectation, DM stated that they had classroom rules, and if they weren't followed, he would have to click down. Other students seemed to make similar connections as they chimed in about the rules they followed during football practice or at home. In addition, DM seems to make similar connections to the other students based off of the rural setting they live in. When asked to write about what they wanted to be when they grew up, a lot of the kids answered related to the community that they live in, such as cowboys, teachers, or soldiers, people they saw a lot. DM wanted to be a police officer. He based his answer off of not only the ideal that he often saw them around town, but that he wanted to help people. DM's comprehension of text is similar to his classmates, and that is based off his experience. But he seems to have a more social and emotional connection to text. He often connects his emotion to the text, whether it be happiness, sadness, or the feeling of wanting to help others. Based off of DM's answers and his peers, it seems as if the students from small communities do not have as many ways to comprehend text about certain subjects, such as jobs. A lot of information that these students get from text are based off their understanding of the world and their experiences. So how could a student who's never been to a space museum or any museum at all want to be an astronaut or historian? Students' ability to comprehend text is largely impacted by the experience or lack of experience that they have. Background knowledge determines what connections they make with text and what connections really stick with them. Rural students should not be expected to understand concepts that they have little to no experience with. Therefore, as educators, it is really important to recognize students' different backgrounds and experiences that they have to provide them with meaningful text.